Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to Jen Cares, powered by Chosen Counselors. I'm your host, Jen Cares, the founder of Chosen Counselors, a nonprofit organization that seeks to inspire, motivate, empower, and strengthen individuals and families. Friends, 1 year is in the book, so let's keep it going. I wouldn't be here without you, so I want to say thank you so much for tuning in, for liking, for sharing, for commenting, for coming back again. I truly, truly love and appreciate each and every one of you. You know, I was reflecting on last month, and I can't tell you how overwhelmed I was. Just amazed at the commitment, because it takes commitment to be doing something, and then just the love and the response that you all have given. I am overwhelmed. I think I got my emotions and feelings together. No tissues are needed, but it really just shows my heart of how I really, really do appreciate each and every one of you. You don't have to tune in, you don't have to like, you don't have to comment, you don't have to share all that jazz. You don't have to do. And I truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for your words of love, encouraging me to take the little pause. That pause was really good. I tell you, last week I didn't even do nothing for Chosen, and it was really odd. But guess what? Even in that, you have to take some pauses sometimes. I just talked to Lydia about that, our guest tonight. It was good, but then I said you got to get back in it too, because too long of a pause, you might not go back. So know that when you're taking a pause, that you take it long enough where when you're going back, you're still energized and excited. And I came back with fresh ideas, and I'm so, so excited for that pause. So tonight, we start our It Takes a Village series. It takes a village came to mind as it is an African proverb. It takes a village to raise a child. And it simply means that an entire community of people must provide for and interact positively with children, for those children to experience and grow in a safe and healthy environment. And it has never been truer that it really does take a village. Sometimes walking down the street, you see somebody and you help them along the way by giving them a word to help them and what it is they're doing. That's part of the village, helping them. Hey, baby, your shoes untied. That's part of the village, helping them. Showing them how to tie the shoe is part of the village, helping them. Being that teacher, being that doctor, being that aunt, being that uncle, being that friend, being that pain in the butt. It is part of the village, and it's all to help us to grow and be safe in a healthy environment. That's the hope that we have, right? So I met tonight's guest, Lydia, actually through social media. We became friends on Instagram. We follow. I see her posts. I like them and things of that sort. And that's what it's all about, checking out who's in the village and what they're doing, okay? So she's been doing her part to interact positively with children. And I believe that the village actually goes beyond children. I believe that the village is also a part of us as adults and things. And guess what? She has become a part of my village. She has helped to encourage me as I grow in this environment that we're living in. And I'm so, so grateful for her because, sometimes the village needs to know that they're doing a great job. So when I met her, I want to support her, and she's been supporting me, and I appreciate that because it does go two ways. Now, I won't lie. Sometimes you may connect and support somebody, and it doesn't come back to you. But it's amazing when you get to see the growth of each of you doing what you're doing out in these streets. Again, it takes a village. I'm not going to belabor too long. Who do we have in the comments? Hey, Jeannie. How you doing, Sunshine? That's my god sister. She is my village. Jeannie has a dear, dear part of my heart. She's my god sister, and she has helped to spoil me a little bit. And spoil really just means love. And I truly, truly appreciate you, Jeannie. I love you more than you'll ever know. I just appreciate you. She's that type of person. I could go to her house and say I'm hungry, and she'll cook it. Not too many people do that for you. That's a village. That's a village that's going beyond, and she doesn't have to do that. I'm truly, truly grateful for you. I love you, girl. All right, so let's get into tonight's episode. Tonight we have Lydia Robinson of Snapcode. We're going to talk about scene in action. Why? Because it is so important in the village to keep our babies active. So help me welcome and introduce Lydia. Woo!
Hello, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm excited. I think I got to slow myself down a little bit. I've been a little pause, but I'm really excited always to give some news to the people.
Yes. Well, listen, you have every right to be excited because I'm just as excited. So,
yes. That's because, look, we're doing some great things in the community. If nobody's told you, you're doing an amazing job, sis.
Thank you. And so are you. So are you.
Oh, so you got to love on each other. That's the village shoe helping us continue to grow because it's all hands on deck. Yep. All hands on deck. Yep. So, over here at Jen Cares, we start off with a quote of the day. And today's quote of the day is, "We can't choose the music that life gives us, but we can choose how to dance to it. Again, we can't choose the music that life gives us, but we can choose how to dance to it. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, that's so good. You know I like it because it has the word dance in it. So I'm like,
Yes, yes.
Also, it reminds me of, when they say play the cards, play whatever the cards, I'm probably saying it wrong, but play whatever cards that you were dealt, right?
Yes, yes.
So basically, whatever life, because let's be real, life can get real. We're going to go through some ups and downs, some highs and some lows. But it's all about how you handle it, right? So one of my favorite sayings is dancing in the rain. Like, I'm dancing in the rain.
Yes.
Sometimes the rain can be a lot. It can mess your hair up. It can damp your clothes. But yet I still choose to be happy and excited and keep moving. So that to me, that quote definitely is just keep pushing, keep moving. Whatever life throws at you, you can get through it.
That's it.
And listen, keep on dancing. Whatever type of dance you like, keep doing it.
Yes, whatever. And you don't even really have to know how to dance. Because I've seen some people.
Talk about it.
They don't really got that rhythm together, but they out there having fun, and that's what it's about. And I think sometimes, this is so good. I think sometimes people are doing things or trying to be their authentic selves, and people's like, that doesn't look right, but they're living it. They're doing it. They're having fun doing it. And we got to be careful with what we say sometimes, because they could be dancing. Somebody might come to your studio, right, and not know a lick of dance.
Yeah.
By the time they leave, they don't know a little something. Absolutely. But the thing is that they're at least trying, and they're trying to be out there.
Yeah, that's it. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. And it's funny, one of the quotes that I had found too talked about that of, not knowing, how to dance to things. But again, it's just having fun. I also love that piece of in the rain and in the puddles. If you got on the right shoes, you'll walk in a puddle because it just gives you something, as a kid or as an adult. As an adult, though, you got another shoe on. You can't do that. But just really, again, enjoying that moment. Being out in the rain, just being like, taking that moment, even if it's not raining and it's just a breeze blowing, but really taking that moment. And that's the piece of, enjoying the moment of life.
Yeah, enjoying the moment. Enjoying. You're on it, Jen. You're on it.
Yeah. So as always, chosen friends, I prepared some questions, but if you have any questions, any comments, be sure to drop them below and we'll bring them up and talk about them. So, Lydia, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Lydia?
Awesome. Okay, so born and raised in Philadelphia. Let me see. I guess 30. I'm 36. I'll be 36 in 3 weeks.
Oh, happy early birthday!
Thank you. I'm looking forward to that. I am currently the founder and director of Scene, like a movie scene, in Actions Productions Company, aka Snapcode. I'm also a part of my church, our dance ministry, one of the leaders. I've kind of relieved myself from that position and was able to train up some beautiful instructors to lead the ministry at my church, but still a part of that. And what else? I'm an auntie to 10. I just had a twin niece and nephew. They were just born like 2 weeks ago. So shout out to Jordan and Josiah. What else? I'm a sister, a friend. Cool girl, I guess.
I love it. She done gave her full resume. Y'all know who Lydia is now, okay? So let's talk about this snap. And I do the snaps 2 times because that's the email, snap 2 times. Who is Snapcode? What is Snapcode?
Yes, so we are a nonprofit performing arts and community outreach organization. We really just reach young people. However, within these past year, because of the pandemic, we've kind of opened up and broadened our horizons, if you may say, to also work with adults and do some other things outside of the box. But we're very arts focused, but more so just family focused as well, community focused. One of our biggest goals is, like you said, just providing the opportunity for the arts to children, no matter if you can dance or not. So if you're dancing in that rain and you don't have no rhythm, that's okay. But that's primarily what it's about. It's really about just providing a loving community for our youth. Being there, it's more than dancing. It's more than we do creative arts as well, creative theater. It's more than that for us. It's creating that that family, is creating that inclusive environment for every child or adult, whoever comes to our organization, to feel like they're a part, to feel like it's something bigger than who they are. So that's really just what our main focus is. Our slogan is basically touching hearts through the arts. And that's exactly it. I'm big on the word love. And so that's my overall demonstration, is showing love through our organization.
I love it. I love it. I'm big on being kind. So love and kindness goes together, because
Yes, it does.
Seeing somebody and loving them where they are, being kind to them, because it could be us. It might be us if we really told the truth too, So really just being that beam of light. And it's so nice that you have this organization that offers a safe place for young people as well as adults to come now. And we'll find out about these adult classes. We'll talk about it first.
Yeah.
But you have that place to go, because sometimes being in a home and in the last year or so, us being stuck in a home and things that sort, it's nice to have an outlet, somewhere else to go. And by dancing, you're getting rid of some stuff. They say shake it off. And those things really do mean things, because after you're doing it, you're like, oh, you know what? It ain't even bothering me. Or they used to do dust the shoulders off your shoulders, dust the salt off your shoulders, or dust your shoulders.
I see those moves, Jen. I see those moves. Okay, you try.
I'm ready. I've been watching TikTok too. I'm gonna be ready.
All right.
But I'm telling my age too with the dust your shoulders. But it's those things that kind of take your mind off of what possibly is going on, to kind of say it will get better. It won't last long. This too shall pass. And it's also great, again, for that different place for the children to be. So again, if they're in a home all the time, but they get to go to a program, they meet somebody who loves them, that's caring for them, that's looking out for them, teaching them something new, helping them identify and show their creativeness. It's like, I got something going on. Maybe I could talk to Miss Lydia about it. Because I'm not really ready to talk to my mom about it yet, but maybe I could talk to Miss Lydia about it. And that's so important, of having somebody that you could talk to, because we're also big on mental health over here. So if something's going on, who can I run to? Who can I talk to about what's happening? And I feel like your organization offers that by way of dance, to be able to, at least, if I can't talk about it, I'm going to kick it out, dance it out, twirl it out, and all that fun jazz. But then, it might be a point that I could talk it out too.
Yeah. And you know what? You're definitely on it. A lot of times we have children, because we also have two parts to our program, and I'll get a little bit into that as well, as some of the community work that we do. But it's just that, like, we'll have children that will come in our doors and they're like, they got an attitude, they mad. I'm gonna be honest, most of our children are very, very sweet. But I mean, we're humans, right? We have our days, our rough days. And so they have times where it's like, I'm mad at mom, I'm mad at
I've been there.
But it's so funny, because it's something that I love. I absolutely love. And shout out to my staff. I love it, because when they have those moments, I love when they say, oh, you got attitude today? All right, we'll put it on the dance floor. Oh, put it in the script. You're going to act it out today. I want to see that you're upset and that you're angry. Put it all out. And you really do see that shift. You really do see that outlet, like you said, that release of, okay, I was at one point, at 1 minute when I first came at the door, but when I'm leaving, I'm all smiles, because I was able to just let it out and, do it artistically. So that's a big thing. It's a big, big thing for us as an organization, to say, hey, whatever you're going through, this is the place to, just stop and let go.
I love it. And let's stay there for a second, because I like this acting part, because, I feel like I'm an actress sometimes. I can be dramatic and action, just playing. But, as needed. And it's so good, because you do get to get those anger out. You get that anger out, and then depending on the role that you're playing, the feelings that you have to pull, you have to know how, to turn it on, turn it off. Some people know how to turn it on and turn it off too well out in the real world. Sorry, it just came to mind. In this safe place, in this area of acting, that's when you're supposed to do it, when it's a real play going on, not just it's good to be able to get those emotions out.
Right.
And then how to maybe pull it in, how to put it out. There's been times where I had to, being a mean person, and that's not really who I am. And then once it was done, I was like, all right, I gotta get myself together. I gotta think happy thoughts to pull yourself out of that. How does that work if they get too caught up in that mean thought or that angry thought while acting?
So basically, one thing that is definitely taught with technique, and in training in acting or, in theater, is learning about emotions. And like you said, learning to turn it on and turn it off. And so if it, in any instance where you have someone who's just stuck in that emotion,
Yes.
like I said, we definitely use it, especially like I said, if you come through that door and you got an attitude, okay, give her a script that has the mean girl right now and I just want to get it all off. But you have to have those moments where you're like, okay, pull it back in. Or that moment of reflection to say, okay, let's talk about that character. How did that compare that character to yourself? And it kind of makes you think like, oh wow, like it's kind of like me right now. Like I'm playing somebody who is actually resembling like my thoughts and my feelings. So it's just a moment of reflection as well. So just allowing them to just be able to see like, okay, here's my emotions versus an emotions that you want me to play, that you want me to put on, and how do I deter the two, how do I pull away? And it's again reflecting. You see how this one character is and how does it relate to who you are and how you're feeling right now. So
yes, it's so good.
See.
I love it. And again, this works for our adult chosen friends as well as our young chosen friends.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we all had those moments. And sometimes you might have gotten off of work and it was a rough day. I know we're all working from some of us are still working from home, but some of us are going out or even working from home. They can wear you. These days have been a little crazy lately. So really know how to pull yourself in or having that moment where you are in action, you're getting it out, and then you pull yourself back together.
You're like, all right, put it back.
Yes.
Put it back.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So when did Snapcode start?
Yeah, so we started in 2012. It just kind of was, we were in a recreation center located in Mount Airy. It just kind of was just me like, all right, I'm just going to step out here and do this thing. Let's just open up some dance classes. I had the opportunity at the recreation center to, host some classes. So I started teaching dance. Then I brought some friends on, some who are still with me as my staff, and I had them doing the theater part of it. And so we would just have our classes on Fridays. We started probably with 6 kids, and to be honest, they were like my nieces and her friends and her cousins.
It's the village. They help you get started.
That's it. So, and then we had a few children from the neighborhood. So but we started in 2012, but we didn't really become an official organization until 2014. We finally said, okay, which way are we going to go with this? We're going to take it the nonprofit route. So here we are.
Yes. I love it. So friends, you see how she did that? It was something that was in her heart that she wanted to do. She went to the rec center. Why? Because it's kids there.
Yep. Community.
You're going to be able to connect with somebody. And then she went forth with it and said, wait a minute, this is catching on. Let's make this official. So some of our friends out there that's listening, they want to do something too, but they don't have the faith, or they're like, is it going to work? Will it work? Gen Cares is 1 year in. Chosen Counselors is 6 years in.
Congratulations.
I feel like it's 6. Yes. So we got the power. We can do it. Whatever it is, whatever small step you take becomes big. Now she's in her own studio. Tell me about that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So that was really a push because of the pandemic. So like I said, we were operating in a recreation center and we were there for 8 years. And so our program, we were growing over the years. We were bringing in over 30 children, and so it was just kind of kind of stuck, at some moments where, you're trying to use the recreation. You can't really have it like you want and do the things that you want to do because it's not yours, right? It's a shared facility, shared city facility, all types of activities going on. That after a while just became tiring of 8 years of doing that. But, not being ungrateful, but grateful for the opportunity to have a place, to do this organization. So when the pandemic hit, it was just kind of okay, what do we do now? All programs and recreation centers had to shut down. So it was just okay, what do we do with Snapcode? Do we just, continue doing things online? And then when it opens back up, we don't know for sure if we're going to be able to get back into the recreation center, which at the time, this particular recreation center wasn't letting anybody in. So, it kind of just forced my hand to say, okay, let's start looking for a home. It was a goal of mine to do anyway because of our growth. And so during the pandemic. Well, actually before then, I was, we were looking for different places to reside. But God really just opened up this door in this particular community in Chestnut Hill for us to go. And I really do feel like it was very strategic as him placing us there. And so, so we just opened up our doors. We moved in. It's almost a year coming up in September.
Woo!
I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. We got there September. We opened up our doors in November, late October, November.
Very nice.
So yeah, almost a year in our new home. It's been great.
Look at that. She started from the wreck.
Yeah.
Was faithful at the wreck for her 8 years.
Yeah.
And then felt like her hand was forced. Yeah. What's making you uncomfortable? That's like, you need to go into what it is you're trying to do.
I know that's right.
That's good.
What's making you uncomfortable?
What's making you uncomfortable?
Yeah. And so it's a blessing, Jen, because, I think like, wow, if I didn't make this move, my students, they wouldn't have a place to be. You know what I mean? And we really would have had to say, okay, it's a done deal. So the fact that, I decided to step out on faith and say, okay, I'm going to trust God through this process, even though it's a little scary.
Yes. When
I see the children coming through the door and they're excited to be there and they have a place to be, because sometimes they don't want to go home. They want to hang out all day. But it's just, it's just those little reminders to say, okay, this was, I'm glad that I moved with it and didn't, step back in fear. Because trust me, I had my fearful moments where I was just like, oh, I'm not going to do that. That's a big responsibility.
Yes.
But it's been great. It's been great. God's been faithful.
Yes, and that's awesome too that they want to stay, because if you have children or youth that want to stay around, you're doing something right. Because I'm like, is it time to go?
Yes.
I try to hang out with my friends. I'm trying to go to the mall. I'm trying to see. Okay. So that's awesome that they want to stay around. It's something that they feel they're getting. And that makes your heart glad, I'm sure. It makes my heart glad for you that, it means something is happening that's alike that they want to be around.
Yeah. Thank you.
So you said you were dancing in church and things. Did you always want to be a dancer?
No, I actually wanted to be a pediatrician. So I always wanted to do something with children. I was always like very motherly. I don't know. I think I kind of got that from my mom. She's she's a mom, obviously, but she's always like, was the sister who took care of everybody.
Yeah.
And so I kind of took that innate from her. But I knew I wanted to do something with children. So I wanted to be a pediatrician. And then when I finally started getting into the arts, I wanted to work for Broadway. So I wanted to do some stuff behind scene, not on stage. I wanted to work in production and some production or the administrative part of it. So that was really the goal. The goal. Yeah.
Awesome. She said behind scenes. Now I saw one of their productions recently, and she was coming in hot.
Nobody never lets me live that dream. Every time they see me, it's like coming in hot. I'm like, all right.
I told you that's your show now. But I love it too because you're coming in with something fresh, something. And when I think of hot, I'm not sure what the artist thought, but when you cook something out the oven and it's hot, it's something fresh, it's something new, and it's gonna be fulfilling. It's gonna be great for you, and it's so amazing. I mean, you did a great production. The children were amazing. Their costumes, they look beautiful. They did a phenomenal job from start to end.
Thank you. Yes, that production. One, I have to say it was such a blessing because we weren't able to, get on the stage for almost a year because of the pandemic. So our 2020 show was completely shut down. So, it was kind of a bummer. Like you worked so hard. And I just remember being very emotional, like, oh my gosh, I got to shut down, I was so close to the end. So they worked so hard. And then it's like, boom, this hits. So just the opportunity to get back on stage was everything for me and for our students as well. So it was fun.
Yeah, such a great experience. So awesome that you were able to do that. So you started the dancing because that was something that was a passion of yours you wanted to do at church and started with the rec center and things of that sort. What other outreach do you do with your program beyond the dance and maybe the acting? And I want to talk about what the acting looks like as well. But what do you do beyond the dance and acting?
So we have another program that's also a part of Snapcode called the Snapcode Experience. And that's our outreach program. And that's where we go out into the community, myself and some of my staff, and either some people that we may borrow from other dance organizations and performing arts organizations. They come along and we go out and we provide workshops to children, specifically the at-risk underserved children. We try to offer opportunities for them. Dance schools and anything performing arts can be a little bit pricey, right? You also know that a lot of these programs are being moved from the schools, so they don't really have performing arts like that. Some still have like music and art, but it's slowly diminishing from the public schools, which is sad. So this particular outreach program it allows us to go into these communities and, say, hey, they're free. Come on out. We're doing a dance session on this day. You can sign up, register. And it's always an amazing experience because, like I said, some of the children their parents can't afford to put them in dance school or acting school. And so it's okay, I have an opportunity. I deserve to have an outlet too, no matter if my parents can afford it or not, I deserve to have that outlet. So that's what the program does. It just allows them to be able to have access to the arts. So, and that was started back in 2014. So, fairly new of a program, but
y'all in there. 14 was a while ago. 2020 was like 5 years and 1 year to me. I don't know. But I also love the component of bringing some things back. I was talking to someone and we were talking about how there's a lot of things we wish we learned when we were in school, but some things that were taught that was good was home economics, learn how to cook something. From a recipe, learning how to sew, learning music, play a little on the keyboard or the drums and things of that sort. And they don't really have that anymore, or it's not as present. I know that cooking class is not, and that sewing is not. But those are the little things that really help you out. Somebody asked me for a safety pin the other day. I actually had a double look like somebody asked for a safety pin. Now I do carry them in my little wallet because you never know when you need them. And I'm telling my age again, safety pins help you keep some things together when you need to keep together. But those things that are important to know, like if a button pops off, that safety pin can save you till you get some needle and thread.
Yeah.
Somebody might not know what needle and thread is.
Yeah.
It's so important to know. So that's really awesome that the dance piece is coming, because again, that's a way to be creative. That's a way to express yourself.
Yeah, and you know what? Even like I talk to a lot of young people, and they're like, it's kind of sad because this generation of young people, all they really know is cell phones and computers, internet. Like that's all they really know. They don't really know how to do double jump, double dutch, or how to make a pillow. I was just talking to my campers the other day. To learn how to make pillows in school.
Yes, my whole name, all 8 letters of Jennifer
on a pillow. Learning those simple things, how to cook something, and a lot of those sadly have been removed from our schools. But that is just a thing that ignites the creativity, right? And so a lot of our children don't know that they're creative because they haven't had that opportunity,
exposure,
to say, okay, I can dabble in this. I'm pretty good at making a pillow with all my letters, all my names on the pillow. Making it a business or something like that. They don't have it, and it's really, really sad. So that's one goal. It's just like, listen, whatever I could do in any way to just say, not just the arts, but how can I just ignite the creativity inside of you? That's the goal. That's the goal.
And let's pause there for a second, because a lot of times children, when they do get into something that they are interested in, sometimes we don't promote it very well. I was watching Space Jam today. I actually liked it, even though people said they didn't like it. I don't remember the first one. I have to watch it again. But a piece of it was, disclaimer, I'm not gonna ruin it, but I'm gonna let you know a little piece. His son wanted to build a video game, and he didn't have time for that because he wanted him to just play basketball. But we want to also have time for what it is our kids are interested in doing, because that could be a money maker. You know how much people making for making a game? I'm about to figure out how I can do it to make something happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not serious, because that takes a lot of work. But they may be doing some chapsticks. They may do nails. They may want to do hair. I saw the young lady. She's doing like makeup, like as a clown. She's doing like different characters as she sees them and things. And she's young, so I can only imagine what this baby gonna do when she hit 12. So it gets really helping and crafting it. And I salute her parents, because they're like doing videos and helping, encouraging her, giving her the supplies she needs. So if it's dance, giving them the supplies they need, giving them the opportunity to go to rehearsal. I know you're tired. I know you don't feel like it, but taking that baby, because it helps them to get some stuff out. It helps you to have a moment to relax, release too. But it's so important to really build on and strengthen those things that our youth are trying to do.
No, absolutely. I also think that it'll, kind of just take away from so much that are like, if you hear the news, what are you hearing all the time? You're hearing our children are being killed left and right, or they're being locked up. And so I honestly believe it's because of the lack of exposure that they have to creative outlets, and the lack of support that they have, so it takes us, our organizations and grassroots programs in community to say, hey, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. It also takes the adult to recognize these things and say, okay, how can I be a part of this and making sure my child is keeping busy and not on the street?
Absolutely. It's so important. And it's funny because you said that children and youth are in cell phones. Adults are in these cell phones too.
Oh yeah, all the time. We're just it gets real.
I can't tell you how many times you go out, you'll see both people at the table on their phones. And don't let a child be there, because if the child doesn't have a tablet, they're just a sore thumb sticking out right there, because nobody's interacting and things. So really making sure that we're taking a moment to put the phones down, to do that creative activity of whatever it is, that dance, that action, that play, whatever it is, to keep active.
Yeah, whatever you find your niche, whatever you find to be exciting and fulfilling for you, that's creative, that you can create with it. I tell people, they say, I'm not a creative. Okay, you put your outfit together. You put that together. That was creative. So tapping into that and understanding what creativity is all about, because we all possess it. God has given all of us creativity because he's a creative God. So we all have it, right? But we just gotta tap into it.
That's it. And again, I think the fear sometimes holds us back. Yeah. What's going to happen if I do it? Are they going to be receptive to it? Who knows? Just parents will be received so well. I had to blindly step out and do it, and it's working out pretty good. Who knew Snapcode would be so? You step out, it's working out pretty good. So it's not until you really take that leap, take that jump to say, hey, wait a minute. I got something. I'm on something here. And you never know. You might be on that $1 million idea. Or it might not be a $1 million idea, but it's an idea that really touches the heart of people. Because it's about, if I can help somebody. I promise, if you can help somebody else in the situation they're in, I know we need money to pay our bills, but being able to help somebody that can't really help you back, it's fulfilling too. It gives you another joy of, all right, I got to keep on doing it. And if I got to keep on doing it, I have to trust and know that whatever means I need to do what it is I'm needing to do is going to come to me. And I'm a witness. Whatever you need will come to you if you're doing it and your heart and motives are right.
And that's why it's important to, like you said, it takes a village. So having those people around you to push you and encourage you, because like I said before, I wanted to do behind the scenes stuff. So I was, and a lot of people, some people, because people think I'm super outgoing and I don't know why, but I was the person who wanted to be behind the scenes. Like, this was scary for me. Like, I didn't think I was good enough. Like, who, me? Like, oh no, please. But it took people just pushing me and saying, no, you have what it takes. You can do this. I see the leader in you. I see the talent. Go forth. And so if it wasn't for that village, I'd have been right behind the scene.
That part right there, nervous. I've been nervous every week. I mean, I don't always tell the guests that I'm nervous because I gotta act like I got myself together. But sometimes I'm nervous because I'm like, is it going to be received well? Is it going to be good? But like I said, I start every episode with a prayer. I say, God, whatever you want to be shared will be shared. Somebody will get something to walk away and be encouraged and empowered, because that's what it's about. But guess what? Most of the time, I walk away with something, and if I can walk away with something, I'm excited too. But I'm not gonna lie, it's nice when somebody else tells me. It was like, no, that was getting me to it. That was good, we doing good. We in the right vein, because you want that confirmation that what it is that you're doing is of help to somebody. Because if I'm out here doing something that's not of help to somebody, I don't want to say I'm wasting my time, but I'm kind of wasting my time. But when you find something that is able to help somebody, then you're on the mark of something.
Absolutely.
You're on the mark of something.
Right.
And again, I always use the analogy at the supermarket. It's a gazillion different brands of bread. They doing something right because somebody's buying that version, somebody's buying this version. I might not buy that one, but somebody's buying it. You know, somebody loves it. So you will find your people. You will find your people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm gonna take a go ahead.
Today I was gonna say, and that's another thing too, because and that also is a reason why sometimes people are like, I don't want to do it. It's 1,000 people doing that, right? But I truly believe that, you know, that God sends his people to directly impact, right? So the people that he sends me is not going to be the same people that he sends to you. You know what I mean? So you do what you're supposed to do for these group of people that he's sending you to work with. So you all have an assignment.
So true. I can't. Sherry was a guest. She was a guest a couple of times for a couple of different things, and she said that the people that are for you, you have the voice for the people that are for you.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
Because we could be talking about the same thing, but the way I say it, they don't like it, but they like the way you say it. You know, or just the delivery is different, and however you like it. But as long as you're getting it from somebody, tap into somebody. It's like church. It's the whole gazillion of them. I'm not the one that resonates with you.
Yeah. That works.
Then you stay there. Then you stay there, and then you roll from there. But that's it, because they say every corner of Philadelphia is a church, a bar, a Chinese store.
Yeah.
There's one for you. There is one for you.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna take a pause for the calls real quick because we gotta pay some bills. Yep, we do advertisements over here now, friends. Check this out. What we got coming up. Be right back.
Hey, have you heard what Chosen Counselors is up to now? Well, listen up. Chosen Counselors and Friends present a Day of Hope. All are invited to join us on Saturday, August 14th from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. virtually. We will open with Mr. Fuel Motivation, Stanley Browning, then plan to attend 2 of the following workshops: Using Social Media Well with Samara Ford, Healthy Relationships with Sylvie Droulard, Spending and Saving with Florence Hint Harrington, Mental Health Matters with Dr. Tashina Reeder, Getting Home Safely with Kia Mason and Derek Raymond, and Planning Your Future with Zoraida Cordero and Tamika Williams. There will also be 2 parent-themed sessions: Parent Advocacy with Michael Harris and Parent Communication with Maurice Williams. Our friends from Snapcode will also lead a dance movement session. No worries, you will have plenty of time to check out the latest TikTok dance moves. We cannot forget about DJ MVP. He will be on the ones and twos, keeping us on point with the hit beats. How do you register, you ask? All you have to do is visit eventbrite.com, search Chosen Counselors, and select the link to register for free. Oh yes, I said free today. Be sure to download the Tools for Success app to stay connected with resources, job and scholarship opportunities, and upcoming events today. So join us, why don't you, on Saturday, August 14th for a Day of Hope. Be sure to mark your calendars, set a reminder, and tell a friend, as this Day of Hope is brought to you by Chosen Counselors and Friends.
Your baby is going across the little thing in the all black. It's too cute.
I know. I just love it when I see the little cells up there.
Yes. So let's talk about pause for the calls. Friends, y'all saw that it's this Saturday.
That's right.
Register. Thank you in advance. I appreciate y'all. We got some giveaways. It's going to be amazing. We normally do a back to school family night, but due to the pandemic and we're kind of opening and not opening, we didn't do that. So we're doing this Day of Hope. So we got some giveaways to be able to help the youth as they're going back to school. But because we have some things for the parents, guess what? Parents need some stuff too. So I'm going to look out for the parents as well. So y'all be sure to head on over to Eventbrite and register. As you can see, Snapcode's going to be in a building, teaching us a little dance and 2-step or something like that. I'm going to be ready though. That's the robot. You're probably not doing it. Okay.
No, not at all.
I thought we talked about we do stuff for older people. We'll get to it.
Listen, they be like, "What is that? What are you doing?"
You absolutely right. You absolutely right. You absolutely right. They be like, "You're right. You're right." They don't know. It's over their heads of things. So let's talk about the scene part, the action part, the theater part. How does that work with Snap?
Yeah. So a lot of it is improving. We also allow, so at the end of the year, our program runs consecutively for 9 months, so September through June during the school year. And so during the month of June, they put on production. And so some of the pieces that they do may be acting or, just enrolling in an improv class. Improv class basically it's just what it is. Acting on the scene, giving a scenario, giving a script, learning how to turn your emotions on and off, playing the role that you were given. So that's always a fun class. One of our popular classes. We were in the rec. The children love that. Like I would hear them screaming down the hall, and I'm like, "What are they in there doing?" With the shout out Shisha, our improv instructor, I'm like, what does she have them doing? They're just having a good time. And so usually what they do is they create a piece that coincides with the dance pieces for our production. So they're able to create a script, work on a script together, and then they, perform that script at the end of your production.
So we're not just dancing, we writing little plays and little skits and things over at Snap.
Yes, so they are this last production, our show is called Together, and this was, so every show that we do has a meaning behind it, hence the name Scene in Action. So we talk about life scenes and we put it in action. So this particular life scene was working together, about unity, about peace, about love, about friendships. And so we always teach our students, the meaning behind every production that we do, which allows them to say, okay, then I get it. I get why I'm getting ready to put this dance production on that's related to this meaning, or I'm going to act out a scene related to that. So we allow them to, not just us as teachers to come in and say, hey, this is what you're doing. You're going to do this, but allowing them to part of the creative process because they're creative, you know what I mean? So, and there's things that we not only teach them, but we learn from them as well. So it just allows them to be creative and create a script and get on the stage and then act it out.
I love it. I also love the piece where they have a part that they're playing in it. It's something different when you're a part of the process. You're invested a little bit more, and then you want it to be perfect. You want it to be flawless. You're like, I got to be on time because I got to do my part and things of that sort. So it's awesome that all hands are on deck to do that production.
Yeah, right. Even just, creating the scene, we always talk about what's the setting? Where is this taking place? What does your character look like in this? How are they dressed? Let's talk about wardrobe, makeup, props, stage props.
Yes.
So allowing them to be a part of that, trust me, they love it. They could just be creative and create, even though they might make a mess, but they're creating, they're creating something, so it's always a fun class to enroll children in.
I need to make an appearance because, I told you I'm an actress. Yeah. And I need to come and act the fool with the girls.
We are waiting for you.
I'm coming. I'm going to find out the schedule so I can be here to act the fool. I'm ready. I just need to know if you're ready because I don't know, Try not to give you too much.
We are opening up an adult improv soon, so just get you ready, get prepared.
Very nice. We at my job I had some of the staff we got together and we went to an improv downtown, and it was just a class. They offered free classes and things at one of the studios down there, and it was just so awesome to be on a stage and to do the different pieces. To see other people that you don't know, get those feelings and emotions, get them out, safe place, learning something new. It was really, really great experience. So that's really awesome that you guys are doing that. I'm going to follow up so I can definitely come to one of the classes.
Yes, absolutely. We'd love to have you.
Yes. We got some friends that have joined us. Hey, Nicole, how are you, sunshine? And hey, Michael, y'all stay tuned because we got him coming up for Project Hope. It's going to be pretty cool, too. Yes. All right. So scene in action, we're doing some dancing, we're doing some acting, we're doing some outreach to reach youth that maybe can't be a part. Let's talk about that. So you're in Chestnut Hill area. Do you have say if a family couldn't get to you, is it like a virtual option for classes?
Yes. So because of the pandemic, we were able to do hybrid schedules. Whereas though some children, there was a limited amount of children that were able to come into the studio, and some that could strictly, just stay on line. We actually have children from all over the city. So I have children in Southwest Philly. I have children Abington. So Abington's a little closer, but Southwest is not. West Philly. So they opt to do online, especially because of the pandemic. But we are definitely going to continue that, even though I'm going to put this out there. We are not a fan of the online training process. It's a little bit rough for us. However, it goes back to what we talked about earlier, just still being able to open up this access to the arts. Yes. So if we, shut the doors to that, then, it doesn't hold you to our mission, which is, allowing, everyone to be a part. Right, and so that's something that we're going to continue doing. And, it'll get better as time goes with, learning.
It's a learning curve. We're all learning what, that hybrid, that in-person and out-of-person looks like. Some of us like that out-of-person a little bit more, but then we get tied up and tangled and stuff, and we're not really paying attention like we should.
Yeah.
It's a struggle on both sides, but we all gonna do that.
Especially with my little ones, because let me say about them, okay? You gotta make sure.
Yes.
Their attention span ain't but this much.
It ain't. It's like, I like what we doing, Miss Lydia, but Coco Melon is on, or this is on, or this my song, or my friends outside. I understand.
Awesome. Twirl it out of them, and then they gonna be like, "All right, I'm out." Yeah. So we had to learn how to keep their attention. Of course, we had to change class times and shorten it, but keep their attention. So Jen, I was doing costume changes. I mean, look at me, I'm a bumblebee.
I love
it. Like the whole light show, whatever I can do to keep their attention. So, we're going to get better this year.
So when I come, I need you to be the bumblebee. I just need you to bring the sunshine. So I'm going to come as a flower. I'm going to come as a flower.
They like it.
So, Michael works with the babies. He said, don't talk about my babies.
Those your babies, man.
Babies, but he be posting some stories, too, about them babies.
I know. I love the stories. It's true. They're interesting.
That was real. Out of the mouth of babes, you learn so much from them. And, we learned, how we did some things, too, because we just a step away from them babies.
Yeah.
So we know about the impact that you're making in the community. The show that you did, the Together one, what number production was it? Have you done a production every year?
Yes. So this was production number 9.
Okay.
Either 8 or 9. I'm going to say 9. Yes, we have done it every year. Last year, because we had to sit it down, so technically it would be 8, but we just want 9 in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, y'all had a virtual get together. It counts.
Yeah, you're right. That counts.
Yes. So that's pretty cool. So it's a once a year event. Do you do a play or any of the skits and things that sort throughout the year?
So we do for like the first half of the year when we first start up, we do something called a winter showcase. We kind of just started that about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, where it's just a really quick showcase that the children are showing off what they've learned in their dance class or their improv acting class. And so they put together something real quick. But really when they come, it's just preparing for the big production. So every week that they come to class, they're getting ready for their big show. Unless we are asked. So sometimes we may be asked to come and do stuff. And the other day, my girls were asked to, I used to teach at another dance studio previously to me. I'm going hard with Snapcode. And shout out to Miss Yvette, who's also one of my mentors. Yes. So we were asked to come and perform at their recital yesterday, which was phenomenal, 25. Yes. And so, we get asked to do stuff, then we'll go out and we'll perform.
Very nice. So how did you come up with the name Snapcode?
Right. So listen, right, I was going to be real deep with it, real biblical, and come up with some ridiculous name. But I knew I wanted something real catchy. So I had a friend who was she always told me about she was a part of an organization called the Rainbow Company. And I used to be I like that. That's really cool, and it was the same thing dance and theater and stuff. So I know I wanted the word company, but I wanted something catchy and something, quick.
Mm-hmm.
But I just kept like in my car, I just kept snapping. I was like, that's it, snap. But what does snap stand for?
Yeah.
It kind of took me a while to kind of, come up with the, snap and put it all together. And so I know that our overall goal was to act out scenes, to do production based on scenes of our life. And so I was like, all right, here we go. We're going to be seen.
Yes.
And so it all kind of just flew. I honestly believe God just gave me, he's creative. He did it.
I love it. What am I going to name it?
It's there we go.
It's harder than you realize sometimes coming up with a name, because like I'll never forget. I had Dr. Parker as a guest, and he does nonprofit organizations, help people get them things together, and he was like, start the business. I was like, but what's it gonna be called? Like, what would I name it? Ironically, I had my email address had been chosen 516 for a while, because I was chosen 516. That's my birthday. And then on like a little thing, I had wrote chosen counselors, and I was like, oh, that's the name. And sometimes it's just that simple. You don't even realize that you have it. And then you like really think about it. It's like, well, what am I going to do? Like, you thinking of that. You'd be surprised, friends, whatever it is you're trying to do, whatever effort you may be working to do to be that village, to be that piece of the village connecting, you might already have the name.
That's right.
You get the papers together. And I know some people you can go to make sure you're right.
That's right. Shout out to Dr. Proctor. Awesome.
Yes, he's the bomb.com. He's been here a couple times to help people get their things together.
Awesome.
Because we try to help the people. We want to make that impact.
That's right.
So it takes a village. You need all hands on deck. How many youth would you say you've worked with or helped and inspired? And what's the young person that really rings out to you?
Overall, how many youth did I work with? Like over the past couple years?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. What's so funny is that you kind of just do it. Like we do take down data, but I never really look at it. And so I guess that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, I probably worked with a lot of children. Probably up to maybe like 500, probably more than that. I really over the years, it's a lot. It's been a lot. And I include the children that I work with through Snapcode. Through outreach programs, and then also the things that I've done with my church, with ministry as well. I've also worked with other ministries, dance ministries, and with training. So a lot of youth, a whole lot of youth.
And I only ask that because sometimes we have to take that moment to step back and say, wow, I really have helped so many people. And knowing that you have helped so many people, whether we can put a number to it or not a number to it, is like, it's enough for me to keep on going because I'm making that difference.
No, you're absolutely right. So like you just asked, I was just like, wait, it's really been a lot. It's been a lot.
Yeah. You are planting seeds, some water, some planting seeds and all that fun jazz. You have really let the people know about who Snap is, that love, they will always remember. So again, thank you.
No, thank you.
And the other part of the question was, what has been the most impactful engagement or interaction with a youth?
I think overall, just hearing two things from the youth. It's just hearing how much the organization has impacted them. Like even that, like right now, we're doing a summer camp. This is our first official summer camp program. And we had a discussion today, and I said, this is our last week. So I said, well, what's your takeaway from this? And one of the things that they said was, just really being able to tap into my creative side and not realizing how creative I was. And so I think that's the common theme that I hear from a lot of our students is just like, not really like a lot of the children that we get, they kind of come in kind of shy, which is, it's interesting because that's how I was as a child, kind of shy. But they come in shy and then like week 2, they're like on 10. So, just seeing that change and then seeing them, gain this confidence that they didn't have before they came in the door. So, and, not just us seeing it, but them also being aware of their own confidence. So that's for us is like for me, the biggest thing, like, wow, you can see that you've grown in many ways, not just, as a performer, but also as an individual,
Yes,
I
yes.
do have some children who are, we also do like some community, I left this part out. We do some community service. So my children are involved in like Martin Luther King Day of service. So we go out, we used to serve our own recreation center. We would clean up, or we would go out to different MLK Day events together. So that part too plays a big role. I have some of my students who are starting nonprofits with serving the homeless community.
Very nice.
Thing. So it's those things that, I step back and say, okay, we were a part of that village and help them to see that the type of individual that they are, and that they too can use their gifts to give back to the community as well. Oh, cool.
I love it. And again, it's just these moments are just to cause us to really reflect of like the impact that we're making, and the hope is that reflecting on those moments and the impact that you've made encourage you to like, I'm doing this. I be scared sometimes. I be nervous. I'm scared sometimes. I'm nervous sometimes. Get my English together. But I'm doing it, and I'm making an impact. Somebody is being touched. Somebody is being encouraged. Somebody is snapping 2 times.
That's right. All the way through, they're snapping.
Yes. Yeah. Snapping good or snapping bad, we'll figure it out. But they're working out those emotions either way.
Yeah.
So what does the future hold for Snap?
So yeah, honestly, I think that I would like to expand a little bit more, expand a little bit more in programming, bringing on some different programs. I think this year, especially with the pandemic, I've tapped into my own personal creativity, and so opening up the doors to do a little bit more creative things again. Expansion, expanding programs to also now start doing things for adults, because we kind of dabbled in that for a little while, and it's now a cry like, hey, don't forget about us too. So that, and then some other things that we I'm not going to spill the beans just yet, but some things
got it.
We'll have out on the market soon. So.
Yes, I love it. So y'all stay tuned, because Snap Co is doing some things. Now, you said you are offering some things for the adults. So some classes are coming for the adults?
Yes. So we had kicked off during last year. We kicked off 2 sessions. We kicked off a sign language class. We did it for children and for adults. So we're going to bring that back. And then we kicked off an adult improvisational dance class called Moments, which was phenomenal. It was virtual. And that just allowed adults that doesn't have any dance background, but it combined both the improv acting and the dancing, and we kind of put it together, and we created some magical things. So that class is really cool, and so that's something that we're going to be pushing a little bit more. In some more classes. So the adult improv, just strictly improv class for seniors, that's coming. That's coming soon as well. So.
Yes, I love it. I'm excited for what you're doing. I'm excited for the people that will be connected to dance, learn how to dance, to snap, to act, to do all that fun jazz.
Yes, thank you, Jen.
Oh, goodness. So we talked about what the future holds. What has been your favorite event, though?
You know what? It's always the productions. But I think out of all my 9, my favorite one, I would say, would be I know my staff is going to be like, why you ain't say this year? But I would say, I really did like this year, even though, it was a little different for us trying to teach virtually. I thought they did a phenomenal job, but I would say my favorite production was Life in Color. That one was awesome. We did that 2019, so 2 years ago, at Martin Luther King High School. And it was cool. It was real colorful. That was so. It's always the productions. They're always my favorite. It's a lot of work that goes into it, into the the planning of it. Getting costumes. Even though it could be stressful, I thoroughly enjoy it. I thoroughly love sitting there with my staff and saying, "What your kids wearing? What they wearing? They're gonna be sparkly. Like, what you want?" That's excited. Planning it. Planning. Lighting and stage, props and all that. So productions are always the thing I look forward to. They're the most exciting.
Yes, I love it. And I also love that I had attended virtual year together series, but I also could hear the parents in the room, and having a parent there to cheer you on means the world. So just seeing the support that the children and youth had in the production that they did, the staff that you had did a phenomenal job. And it takes patience, and it takes love, and it takes kindness and all that fun jazz to be able to do the services that you're offering. So again, exciting, amazing, amazing, amazing. So my last question, I think, let me say, we're talking so I can figure out what class I can come to improv and act because she's ready.
We ready. We ready for you.
She's ready. She's ready. What is something? Well, two questions. What is something? Why is what you do so important? I want that to be a takeaway as we're bringing it to an end. Why is it what you do so important and impactful? We've talked about this a little bit, and then I want you to close out with some words of wisdom of how you have, as it relates to SNAP, how it relates to the village, how it relates to just life in general. But why is what you do so important, and what's your takeaway thoughts that you want our viewers to walk away with?
Yeah. First of all, I really love this series of It Takes a Village because a lot of times when I'm communicating with our parents, that is one of my sayings when I'm thanking them, and I say, thank you for allowing us to be a part of your village. It's very important, right? Just being a parent alone, they need support too, right? They need support. They need it from their community. They need it from their family. So that because we're able to be a part of that, a part of helping to because what we do, we're helping to raise children. So allowing us to be a part of that is really it's amazing. It really is amazing. It's very impactful. Statistically, children who are involved in the arts or involved in programs, they tend to do really well academically. And just because of that support and because of the discipline that they're taught through the arts or whatever programs that they're a part of, and they're making that dedication. So it's really teaching them how to be overall outstanding citizens, right? And individuals and people that are going to be in our future, that are going to be doing some big things. So being a part of that is very, very important because these children, they need someone to take them by the hand and say, hey, I got you. Like you riding in the middle of the street, your bike, beat the horn, baby, watch out. A little boy today, I said, be careful, because you're gonna get hit out here. I don't want you to get hit, but you got to be careful, right? So all of that is just important. Taking a child by the hand and just giving them direction. Sometimes it's perceived a little bit more from a stranger than it is from their own family, right? You want to hear what mom has to say, but I'm gonna listen to Miss Lydia though. So it's just having that opportunity to play such a big role. I don't take it for granted. When any child comes to my organization, I don't even say I say our organization. When they come there, me and my staff, we don't take it for granted. We know that you're here for a reason, and we're going to do our best to play our roles and to be a great impact, to be an influencer, to be an encourager, to be a mentor. Just more than a dance teacher or improv teacher. We're going to be here for you. If you need to talk, we're here. And so a lot of children these days don't have that, and it's sad to say that things are happening because of that in our community. And so I guess what I can leave is that there's so many organizations out here in our city, wherever you live, that have programs for children, for youth to be involved with. Some are free, some are, may cost something. But I think that it's very important that we all as adults help to play the role of being a village, whether it's your child or somebody else's child. If you see a child that's struggling, just saying, how can I as an adult, impact this child's life so that, I'm not hearing them on the news, something crazy happening to them. So providing resources, so many organizations that have resources for children to get involved, to be active. And so it's important that we not be selfish, and that we also, take it off of us and, look at the children and say, okay, how can I support, children in general? You know, that, like I said, if it's not your child, it's your neighbor, and you see they're not doing nothing, find out, what do you like to do? How can I continue? You know, even if you don't have the money to pay for them to go to get guitar lessons, maybe you can start a fundraiser to get them a guitar and just let them, put on their step and, guitar. But it's those little things that I think that all of us as adults have to step up and do a little bit more, So like you said, it takes a village. And so everybody can be play a huge role in being a villager.
I love it. Yeah. It takes a village, friends. And that's what we're talking about tonight, this month. It takes a village. So whatever your part may be, whatever it is that you're doing to help, we thank you for it, whatever contribution you're doing. And like she said, Lydia said, sometimes they might hear it well from a stranger compared to not a stranger, but somebody outside of the home than somebody in a home. But I also just want to encourage us that sometimes what you may be doing, it may be received, it may not be received, but you still did your part.
Yeah, you did your part. Absolutely.
Still did your part. Awesome. So again, I thank you so much. It's a small world. Michael said he was the light man at that one.
He was.
It's a small world. I've been connecting with people that know people. I'm like, well, where y'all been all my life? Y'all just been keeping yourselves to each other.
Yes, Michael and I, we attended the same college, and we were in choir together. So, but he came out. He was a volunteer, and he was our light man, the spotlight man. So
yes. So you're alto or soprano?
I am a soprano.
Okay, I'm gonna be out. So we're gonna put a group together. Come on, Michael.
It's always the argument, but it's okay. It's okay.
It's argument about what?
About the sopranos against the altos all the time.
I'm really a soprano, but I mean, for this purpose, I'm gonna let you be it, and I'm gonna go to alto. We're gonna work it out.
It's okay.
Yeah, he gave a shout out IUP. All right, small world. Hey, Tatrice, love you, girl, sister. So yes, this has been amazing. This has been awesome. I thank you so much for, again, what it is that you're doing in the community. I'm excited to get connected, to come to a class. I'm going to talk to you about another class that we could possibly do, see what happens and things, because it's all about building networks and sharing and giving people opportunity to do something that they ain't never did before. Okay? So that's really, really cool. What did Cami say? Cami said, such a great resource for you. Thanks for sharing your history, present, and future plans. Yes. Thank you so very much. Kim, you going to come to the class with me? I'm sure you're going to. I'm going to let you know. Yes. But again, that's what it's all about. Just being that light, because it really does take the village. Whether young or older, it takes that village. Because if I see you not too excited, how can I pull you in to get you excited again? Whatever age it is, how can I help you act it out, dance it out, shake it off, dust it off, whatever it is, okay? So that was really, really good. I, again, just thank you so very much for joining us. As shared, we're going to be having our Day of Hope, and Snapcode will be in the place dancing.
Yes, I can't wait. I'm so excited for this. I really am.
Yes. Now, hold on. I got to get her for a second while I have her. I'll sneak up to Philly for a class. Sis, I'm going to talk to you offline. But yes, thank you so much. I got you on record saying you're going to come. But we'll talk, sis. That's a good friend of mine. But yeah, so we're excited. We're going to see how that works out, because again, I know some girls that have come together and be excited about doing just what it is that you're doing and building up and things and so on. And it's always nice to just have a night out to do the thing. So again, I'm truly, truly grateful. I appreciate what it is that you're doing out in these streets. Continue to fight on, continue to hold your light up, because somebody sees your light, somebody is near your light, and somebody is coming to get what it is that you're giving out.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you for having me. This was really, really awesome.
Yes. Great job. We are all about bringing the community to our friends. So whatever it is. And again, the awesome part is that if you can't get to the area where she is, because we have some people that are in different states, you can do it virtually.
Yes,
there is no excuse. You can do it virtually. And I promise you'll have a good time. Let me know when you're going so I can go too, so I can be a supporting at the pool to bring life and joy to it. But I love you all. Thank you again so very much, Lydia. May you have a great, great evening. And I'll see you Saturday.
See you Saturday.
Yes.
Register.
Yes. So awesome. Thank you so much, y'all, for joining us tonight. We had Lydia of Snapcode. Yo, they're doing phenomenal things over there. I was so excited to be able to attend their event. It was beautiful. The children just had a blast. They were having fun. And that's what it's all about. When's the last time you had fun? When's the last time you had a blast? Y'all better sign up and get to a dance class somewhere or go out there and dance in the rain. I know your hair, put something on it to go out there. But again, sometimes we got to have those moments to just shake it off, to really let it go. It's a lot happening in life. It can overwhelm us, but make sure that you're getting your creativity out, that you're expressing it, and maybe that you're a writer. You might journal. You might write it out. You might write a play. Connect with Diddy and see if y'all can do a little play, because they seen in action and things. All right, but again, do something. It takes a village, and I want you to be encouraged to know that you are not alone in this thing called life. There is somebody out there that wants to help hold your hand and pull you through. I'm one of them. How about you? So tonight our quote was, we can't choose the music that life gives us. Ain't that the truth? But we can choose how to dance to it. And that's unknown. We can't choose a lot of things that happen sometimes we don't know what's going on. But guess what? We can choose how we respond. That's what that quote is about. So we can choose how we respond. So sometimes we might want to dance. Sometimes we may want to sit back. But whatever it is, you do it. And you have the best time doing it. So as shared, we have a Day of Hope coming up this Saturday. If you're not registered, be sure to head on over and register at Eventbrite. We're going to be talking about planning for your future, advocacy, parent communication. Those are 2 workshops for parents, but for the youth, it's planning your future, using social media. We're going to have a hope talk, saving and spending, healthy relationships, mental health, and getting home safe. Now that one right there, that one, I ain't gonna lie, is probably more dear to my heart because a lot of things are happening in the world and I want us to be able to what? Get home safe. And then sometimes we home and we not safe, but that's another conversation. At the end of the day, I want us all to be okay. That's my heart. And us being okay, I gotta educate us. So we gotta talk about some things, good, bad, and ugly, to help us be the best version of ourselves. So we can do the best that we can do to keep ourselves in some good situations. Some things are out of our control, but the things that are in our control, we want to be able to have the grips on that to see how things work out. All right, so be sure to join us on next after Saturday. Register, please, if you haven't already. Share with a youth. It's for youth ages 13 and up, but we have workshops for parents. But if something rings out to you and you want to hear about it, come on. We have some great professionals that are coming to speak on those topics. Be sure to join us next Monday as we will have Jim Brown for our Music Speaks. Jim Brown is a DJ, and he's going to be, as Camille said, on the 1s and 2s on Saturday, but then he's going to join us on next Monday because my mic sound nice. Check one. Is that a DJ? I don't know. I'm just having fun because I'm excited to be back with you all. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I thank you again so much for tuning in. Don't forget, this Saturday, a Day of Hope. If you're not doing anything, do please sign up and register. It is free. We have some amazing giveaways. And next Monday, we'll be back. Why? Because this train is still going. So thank you so very much all for joining us. Thanks again to Snapcode, Lydia. Y'all be sure to follow her, find out about those classes. Let me know if you do go, because I'm going to go too. Why? Because it takes a village, and I'm going to go with you because that's what we do. I do love you all. I love you all. I feel like that is all that I have. I had some other stuff, but we'll talk about it another time. Why? Because y'all coming back next week, right? I hope so. I love you all. Until next time. See ya. What are you holding off on doing because you're waiting for something else to happen? Who are you allowing to stump your progress and moving forward? Oh, my friends.